Hello, magical butterfly. Welcome to the Mercury in retrograde reading. In this reading, I'm going to tap into what the energy of this Mercury in retrograde period is bringing to divine masculine, to divine feminine, and what it means for them as individuals, as well as their connection. So this is going to be a general collective reading. So I want you to sit back, relax, close your eyes if you feel guided to. Allow the messages to come forth as they're intended to, as Spirit wants to, taking only what speaks directly to your soul, and what doesn't, release it and let it fly. There was a huge upgrade that happened in the days leading up to Mercury going into retrograde. Mercury officially went into retrograde on December 13th, 2023, and will remain in retrograde until January 1st, 2024. This retrograde started right after the 12/12 portal. The new moon in Sagittarius happened during this retrograde period. We also had the winter solstice. And the energy that was brought in is to help shift the collective into a 3D consciousness. Mercury in retrograde is going to show you what you need to revisit in order to align to 3D consciousness. So that is what I'm going to be focusing on for divine feminine and divine masculine, how they can shift from 5D consciousness to 3D consciousness and find the willpower, the strength, and the need and the want to stay there. So I'm going to start with the divine masculine. So what is the divine masculine being shown during Mercury and retrograde? So what is the divine masculine being shown during Mercury in retrograde? What is he being shown? Maybe he's revisiting something. Maybe he's finally getting clarity or an epiphany on something. What can you tell us, spirit, ancestors, angels, spirit guides, on what the divine masculine is being shown? Okay, he is being shown the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the tarot deck. And that's because things are slowing down for him. So he's being guided to slow down. This is normal, not just because Mercury is in retrograde, but when you get to the end of a year, things will tend to slow down. There's a lot of clarity. There's a lot of reevaluation, a lot of revisiting past scenarios, thinking about the past. Past people come in for a reason. Pentacles is earth energy. So divine masculines could be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, in their sun, moon, or rising, or just somewhere dominant in their chart. But the masculine, because this card is green, he is being guided to really focus on what is in his heart space. What does he love in his life? What does he love to do when it comes to his career, his hobbies? Who does he love? Who has a special place in his heart? And how he wants to show up for himself when it comes to love. So things are slowing down for divine masculine, so things can start to move forward in the coming new year. Because Mercury goes into retrograde on January 1st, 2024, for his Wheel of Fortune to start moving forward, for this number 10 to show him this is your new chapter, this is your new cycle, things are slowing down for him to get a clear understanding and a clear vision of what's in his heart. So what's in his heart is his Queen of Pentacles, his divine feminine. She too can be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, in her sun, moon, or rising, or he just views her as this very content queen who is just in control of her life. The peacock could be significant, could be a spirit totem for either the divine feminine or the masculine. But maybe things have slowed down with her. Maybe things have just shifted and gone in a completely different direction, but she is always on his mind and she will forever be in his heart. So the sun is showing the divine masculine, you have love for her, you have a connection with her. Whether they are together or they are not is irrelevant. But in order for him to have brighter days ahead in his life with his Wheel of Fortune, there is something he must revisit when it comes to the divine feminine. And what needs to be revisited is the Page of Cups. A message of love, a note, an email. Something was sent a long time ago or recently, a message that was never answered or returned, and now it is coming full circle. So the Eight of Pentacles is telling the divine masculine to work with himself, to go into his heart, to see if this message is worth replying to. It was a small message. There wasn't anything big behind it, but it went unanswered and it just drifted away in the cold. This message was tied to a Knight of Cups, so this was some type of love offer, love gesture that he ignored from the divine feminine. The divine feminine, in a way, offered him the Ace of Wands in her own way, and this wand wasn't taken. So divine masculine, as the Emperor, as the divine being of your journey, you are being guided to revisit it, to reevaluate, to see if it's worth exploring, or if it's best to leave it well enough alone, leaving it in the past. The Ten of Cups shows the masculine right now what he could have had with the divine feminine had he answered that message. And because he chose to go in a different direction, Mercury in retrograde is putting the divine masculine into a hermit mode of some kind where he is soul searching, really gaining a sense of what is important to him. Soul searching is going to bring answers to this King of Pentacles so he can figure out the best way to handle his divine feminine and what is coming up to the surface with Mercury in retrograde. So with this Page of Cups message, how is divine masculine dealing with this? How does he feel about it? Let's get an honest answer. So how is the divine masculine feeling about this little message from the past that has revisited, that has come full circle? Maybe this is something that just never had proper closure, that he now feels he should have answered, or he still wants to answer, or maybe he doesn't want to answer this. Let's just see how divine masculine is feeling right now in this moment. So he is searching for the truth. Number 20 equals a 2, so there's a balance that he wants to have with this partnership, this connection that he has with the divine feminine. He wants to find the truth. He wants to really get connected to how he feels. He knows the divine feminine has moved on from him. The two of them most likely do not speak, do not see each other, but there's always something in the back of his mind that is reminding him of her. And he wants to just find a balance. Number 11 is the twin flame number, but it's also the number of new beginnings. It also equals a 2. And balance is something that's very strong, especially if this masculine is an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, sun, moon, or rising, but the feminine could be too. Or maybe just the air energy just brings in the balance of communication, even if it's just the masculine communicating to himself. And that's confirmed by the throat chakra. So he does want to speak. He does want to speak, whether he physically speaks to her or he just speaks it to himself. He knows that there is an emotional loss. There was a change of direction, and maybe he's having a change of heart. Or maybe she has a change of heart where she's not open to this anymore. Maybe he feels the loss of losing her disconnecting from him. Perhaps he is in another connection, she is in another connection, they both are. But either way, whatever the masculine decides, because it's going to be different, not every divine masculine is going to choose to revisit this, to answer the message. It's going to depend on what's going on in each divine masculine's life, because this is a collective reading. But either way, it's going to bring him a full transformation. And this full transformation is going to bring an end to the discontent and boredom. Instead, this is where prosperity begins for him. This is where something new grows. This is where love begins, a new beginning in love, where the memories of love, the memories of the past become sacrificed, become put away, and the divine masculine takes the wisdom of his heart, of his higher self, of his spirit team, and he makes the decision that is best for him on what he needs to do to move forward. So overall, divine masculines are reminiscing about something from the past that involves some type of message from the divine feminine, and they are deciding, do I revisit this or do I just let it go? So now I want to tap into the divine feminine to see what she's being shown, if it's similar to the masculine or completely different. So spirit guides, ancestors, angels, what is the divine feminine being shown when it comes to Mercury in retrograde, when it comes to her divine masculine, their connection, her life? What can you tell me? What is the divine feminine being shown? All right, I had 3 cards come out, so I will take those first. So the first thing she is being shown is the King of Wands. The King of Wands represents her divine masculine, who could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or just have that somewhere dominant in his chart. But if it's not zodiac sign, Wands symbolizes a confident masculine who is passionate and who is a leader in his life. The lion represents that she always saw him as the king of her jungle. This is how she viewed him in the past. But this King of Wands, the remnants of the past are still there. And that is confirmed by the 7 of Pentacles. So even though she's content with what happened in the past with her King of Wands, there is something that she's always wanted to know. What would have happened if he called her? So she too does think about it, but she thinks about it in a very different way. So maybe in the past, she thought about it in a very unhealthy, attached, sad energy, but now she is very grounded. That is what the Pentacles is representing for her. Very grounded, very stable energy, very 3D energy, because Pentacles is earth energy. So she is understanding that her masculine is a person. He is a human being. He's not somebody that maybe she put him on a pedestal because she was very focused on 5D energy. This is a divine feminine who is very content being in the 3D. She did want to have the 2 of Cups with him. And sometimes she just reminisces and she thinks about what would have happened if he called, if we went out, if it worked out. But now the divine feminine is okay with letting go of the past, because when she thinks about the past, it brings in the 5 of Wands, which is inner conflict. It gets her in her headspace. And when she wants to escape her headspace, where does she go? In the 5D. Going into the 5D to escape the reality isn't something that serves her anymore. Instead, she wants to be present, physically present in the 6 of Wands, holding her crystal ball, holding her wand, where she can manifest a new beginning for herself. Because it's very important to her, because she too, during Mercury in retrograde, is going through the hermit mode. She too is going through soul searching. She is pulling back the last few days of 2023. She is reevaluating her life and how she wants to show up, not only for herself, but how she wants to show up in her life for 2024. She is no longer tempted by the devil. She is no longer tempted by her past. Her past doesn't soothe her or sway her. Instead, she is tempted by the moon. Embracing the moon cycle, because each month the moon cycle resets itself. The moon cycle starts with the new moon, the dark moon, where it resets itself, and it goes all the way through the cycles to the full moon, where it's bright and full. That is where the divine feminine wants to be, so she can move forward, where she can run wild and run free. This card is reminding me of a scene in the TV show Sex and the City, where Carrie Bradshaw finds Mr. Big at his engagement party where he's getting ready to marry Natasha, where she realizes that Big wasn't meant to run with her, that he was looking for something safe and easy, because that's what Natasha's character represented. So she said, maybe some women aren't meant to be tamed. Maybe they're meant to run wild until they find someone to run wild with them. That is what divine feminine is understanding about herself, because she is the Queen of Wands. She is a confident queen who follows her passion, who takes leadership in her life. And whether her divine masculine, whom she thinks of, who she reminisces about, is the one for her, but she is also open to what spirit has for her if she's single and looking for her Mr. Big. The Page of Wands shows me that she now sees the message that she sent the divine masculine as just merely a way of getting his attention. She no longer judges him. She no longer judges herself. Instead, she sees that the world is at her fingertips and she's ready to reinvent herself, her life, and she sees 2024 as the tool to reinvent herself and to make big changes. So let's just see how divine feminine is feeling with this newfound epiphany, this newfound perspective. So how is the divine feminine feeling with this newfound epiphany, this newfound perspective when it comes to how she now sees her divine masculine, their connection, and her life going forward? Opening to discovery, 34, which equals the 7, but I did say 54, so angel number 54, which equals the 9, could be significant for somebody watching this reading if those are numbers you are seeing. But she is open to discovering the new. She knows that the key is in her possession. She is ready to open the door to her future by merely stepping into the present and staying there. She understands that when she has that 3D perspective, she is in the energy of endless possibilities. 38 equals an 11. 11 is the new beginning. It is the twin flame number. And she is understanding that she's had so many close encounters when it comes to her life, but they never really fully developed because she was always caging herself, being bound in fear, very much 8 of Swords energy. But now, she is feeling the world. She sees for the first time that the world is at her fingertips. And the call of the muse tells me that she is her muse. She no longer sees the divine masculine as the one to be her inspiration. She is her own inspiration. And what that does is it helps her grow and plant her tree of life, bearing the fruits of her labor and the fruits of her fruitions. She now understands that she is the storyteller. She is the author of her story. She has broke open her heart chakra and her solar plexus chakra, which now tells her that birds of a feather flock together. She is looking for people who vibe with her. She is understanding that your vibe attracts your tribe, and sometimes people you used to vibe with no longer serve a purpose. So divine feminine is very, very much into finding a new way to create herself and reinvent herself as 2023 comes to an end and 2024 is getting ready to begin. So what does this mean for their connection? So let's just see what this means, what epiphanies, realizations, clarity, aha moments, divine masculine and divine feminine are having. What does this mean for their connection? What can you tell us, spirit guides, angels, and ancestors? What can you tell us on what this means for their connection? So the world reversed is shortcuts. So I feel when they reminisce about the past, a lot of the unspoken words, the things that maybe they regret how they handled things, they just want a shortcut. They want to skip past it because they don't want to relive the past. They don't want to feel the need to take a trip down memory lane. They really both seek closure. They know that reminiscing about the past has brought in delays, lack of completion on their own side, disappointment and stagnation. So they want to flip this to the world where they end this chapter. The world is about finding your new beginning. We had this card for the divine feminine. So the divine feminine is working on getting to the end of a chapter, and I feel the divine masculine is also doing that as well. The Eight of Coins, which is the Eight of Pentacles in traditional tarot, is about dedication to the craft. So this is showing me that they both are working on themselves. And by working on themselves, this is going to, with the moon reversed, it's going to unveil. It's going to bring that mental clarity that the two of them are seeking. So we do have a full moon in Cancer happening on December 26th, 2023. This full moon is going to help divine masculine and feminine release their fear, their anxiety, and to start to hear and trust their intuition. Because what that is going to do for the two of them and their connection is death reversed, allowing the full transformation, the full metamorphosis to happen. It's going to happen with the internal changes that they both make. To transition, to have a rebirth, to purge, to regenerate, to emerge, to transfigure. And what that's going to do is bring them into the high priestess energy where they start to let their intuition bring the clarity. So there's a full moon on this card. So the full moon in Cancer is really going to help masculine. Masculine may make the decision on the full moon or the days after. He's no longer going to feel uncommitted or a loss of motivation, because he is going to learn from his past mistakes, maybe the lack of interest, maybe there was a third party. Instead, he's going to get into the Three of Coins upright, where he's going to do it together. He's going to collaborate with spirit to make a decision. And what decision he make, like I said, I can't tune into that because this is a collective reading and it's going to be different for everyone. So if you're questioning if your masculine is going to revisit this, you're going to play mind games with yourself, because the answer is within you. You already know this. You do have a thirst for knowledge, but it's all within you. It's all within you. And divine feminine, she is no longer going to be stubborn when it comes to her King of Pentacles, her King of Coins. She is going to be her own provider, because she is no longer in the Three of Swords, the emotional pain, the heartbreak. She is now in recovery. She is overcoming the sorrow. She is no longer concerned about reconciliation with him. She let go, she heals, she releases, she forgives him, she forgives herself. She's feeling optimistic and hopeful for her future because she cut the discord. And now she has found union with herself, and she knows that union with another person, whether it is her divine masculine or it could be somebody new, it's going to be different for everyone. So don't allow your fear, your doubt, and that voice in your head to sway you. Instead, tune to your intuition and become the magician, the creator of your reality, and let your intuition, your heart, guide you on this next chapter of your life. So let's see how divine masculine can align to 3D consciousness. Because aligning to 3D consciousness is going to help both counterparts make decisions for their future and make them in a healthy, detached, 3D perspective way. So how can divine masculine align to the 3D consciousness? So he can make this decision, whether he revisits this, answers the message, or he completely lets it go. Okay, so he's going to come full circle with this. The 5 of Cups is when you focus on what has been lost instead of focusing on what's there. So divine masculines, when it comes to the divine feminine, whom he sees as the Queen of Pentacles, he's going to make a decision. He's going to decide either not answer the message, not to revisit it, to just discard it, to let it go completely and focus on what he does have in his life. Now, this could ring true for masculines who are in third-party connections. Maybe they just don't feel like they need to shake up that relationship. But for those that do feel they need to speak the truth and say something to their feminine, they will make that decision. But it is going to be a 3D based decision. And these 3D based decisions is going to bring balance. Whether he revisits it or he doesn't, it is going to bring balance to the connection. It is going to bring that long awaited closure, the justice, the end of a karmic cycle, the end of stalemate and indecision, the end of things moving slow. It's going to bring freedom. It's going to bring a quick release. The bottom of the deck is the Star. So whatever is meant to align, whatever is meant to come full circle for divine masculine, making this decision will come first full circle. You don't have to worry about it. So divine feminine, what can you do to align to 3D consciousness? Because if you tend to really fine tune into the 5D to see what your divine masculine is doing, sometimes 5D doesn't match 3D, so you have to allow 3D consciousness to reign supreme, because in order for conversations, in order for union to happen, it has to happen on a 3D level. Because when you have union in the 5D, that is your daydreaming stage, your dream state. This is something you want physically in your life. So you have to align to 3D consciousness to allow yourself to free yourself and to set yourself free. This isn't meant to trigger anybody. This is something that I have learned. It's taken me 5 years to really understand this. But divine feminines, we will run into the 5D. We will run to get that reading. We will listen to the people who tell us, connect to your person on a 5D level. And if you focus so much on the 5D, it will transpire into the 3D, which it does happen sometimes, but for the most part, it doesn't. So that's why 3D consciousness is what needs to happen going forward for you, for your divine masculine, for your connection, and honestly, most importantly, you. They're really heightening that. They want you to be able to have that inner peace. Because the Hermit card shows me, by you going within and connecting to the 3D energy, the 4 of Visions, which is showing me the visions that you have had, the dreams that you have had that may not have come into fruition, will not haunt you and keep you from moving forward. Instead, they will bring you into the Seeker of Visions, where you bring to life what you know is right for you. Because the Ace of Spells tells you that you hold the wand. You have slayed the dragon. You don't have to revisit and go through this again. Instead, the Ace of Boons shows me that you hold the ring, the offer to yourself, And frog could be a spirit totem for you and have a special message for you. But the wide world, which is the world card in traditional tarot, tells you there is a divine masculine out there for you. This could be the person you're watching the video for, or it could be a completely different person. But Spirit wants you to change your perspective, to see that the world is at your fingertips, but it's the physical world that is at your fingertips, not the world that you see in your head or when you meditate or when you daydream and when you dream. Spirit wants you to know that you can have it all, but you have to have a 3D mindset. It's almost like you have to go through a reality check. It's so easy to go into the 5D, to detach from the 3D world when the 3D world is hard, but the 5D world isn't our 3D physical existence. It's not our existence when you're in waking life, when you're walking through life. You want to live your life, but you want to live your life in a solid way. So pay attention to your spirit totems. The Council of Animals are telling you to listen to them. They are bringing you messages. They are telling you that yes, these are challenges right now, but you are going to wake up from them and you are going to conquer your fears. And you are going to have the 6 of Visions, where you take the divine wisdom, what you have learned, and you take it with you into the 3D moving forward. Because the bottom of the deck for you is the Keeper of Boons. You are the keeper of secrets, you are the keeper of knowledge, and you have the divine wisdom within you to make any decision and go with the flow. But the key is to stay in the 3D world. So I'm going to close out this reading with what does this mean for Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine collectively going forward. So, spirit guides, ancestors, and angels, what does this mean for Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine collectively going forward? What can you tell us? What messages do you have? Organize and plan. It is time to evaluate your life. It is time to plan your future by being present. Stay wild and free. And when you do that, you will understand that like attracts like. Remember your origin, remember who you are, and remember to never settle. Your third eye chakra is telling you to trust your intuition, and by trusting your intuition, you will nourish and honor your health, your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, and your emotional health. You will begin 2024 with the clear thought and clear vision to turn over a new leaf. You will learn from your past, whether you are right now or you will, by being fully present. By being fully present, you will say it bluntly and honestly, and it may scare you on how you may feel differently about your person and what you truly want. You may feel the need to start from scratch with certain areas of life or all of them, but you will purge and release after this full moon in Cancer, and you will see all sides of the problem, because to truly solve a problem, you have to find the solution. Keep it simple and always follow your passion, and that is going to help you find the little joys in life, to resolve any family matters, inner child wounds, to appreciate the mystery of life because you're not meant to know everything, and to replenish and invigorate your spirit by connecting to yourself physically, and connecting with spirit through the third eye chakra is going to bring you that sweet release, and you will never doubt how you feel, what you know, and what your heart tells you. I do hope this Mercury and Retrograde reading for Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine has helped you, brought you the clarity and guidance that you were looking for. If this resonated, drop a comment below to let me know. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. Make sure you have the bell notification set so you can be notified when new content is posted on my channel. If you are interested in booking with me, I am running a end of the year sale on my website, butterflyintuition.com. Use code THANKYOU2023. That's THANKU 2023 for 20% off. It applies to everything on my website except group coaching memberships. Everything else you can get 20% off. So go to butterflyintuition.com to book with me today. If you'd like to see the list of services I offer, just go to the description box below. You will see it there, along with all my other links on how you can connect with me outside of YouTube. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a subscriber. Have a magical rest of your day, night, or afternoon. Love and light to you.